welcome back to the channel. We had an action-packed weekend of Halo esports this week, and I'm going to be going over it with the Hcs Anaheim outcomes. We saw Cloud9 the victor again, and it was a pretty insane tournament. I can't wait to talk about it. HCS Anaheim 2022 event took place in Anaheim, California this past weekend of February 11th and 13th, or 11th through the 13th, and we saw yet again another championship bracket series of games where Cloud9 makes it out unscathed, not a single loss on the record on this championship bracket, and they managed to just beat everybody and just cruise their way to another championship victory. So now they're crowned kings of HCS Anaheim, and they really had a lot of plays, too many to put in one video, but their display of skill was nothing but extended throughout this whole tournament, and we got to see them play the best teams in the world as well, and they still proved to this day that they are consistently the best in Halo Infinite in the world as of 2022. These OG Halo veterans make for a very solid team. Penguin, Renegade, Stellar, and Eco, really solid team. They look very scary. It's scary because not really anybody can even come close to beating them now. I mean, the final score was 4-2 against Optic Gaming, of course, of all teams, which I would say is the number 2 best team in the world right now. Even Optic can't come close to beating Cloud9. They faced Cloud9 earlier in the championship bracket, and they got swept, clean sweep 3-0. That Cloud9 gave Optic Gaming, and they've really been showing that they're dominating ever since the first tournament back in Raleigh. They've been showing that they're the dominant team right now, beating every team in scrims, beating them in every tournament, not losing, not dropping any games. It's crazy as it sounds, they really are the best in the world right now, and it's pretty scary to see how easy they get rid of teams, like Optic, like United, like Sentinels, and just get rid of them like that and just break up all their setups constantly. It's actually pretty amazing to see. And as we can see here by our trusty Halo esports wiki, we can see that we had most of the top teams in the world here during this tournament. We had teams like United, FaZe Clan, who were pretty good too, G2 Esports, who've shown a little bit of promise during this Anaheim tournament. They showed a couple of showings against United, I believe it was that they played. Kansas City Pioneers were surprising a lot. I believe they started off the series against Cloud9 by beating them in one game, and it was like, oh wow, KCP really carried this momentum that they had against G2 here, where they beat them 3-2. It kind of carried on to them, up until the first game, of course, that they played against Cloud9, and then reality set in, and then they just got beat by Cloud9, of course. But it goes to show that a lot of teams here have potential to rise up the ranks and maybe upset a couple of teams up here. We still have to see a lot of gameplay left, a lot of tournaments left in the year. Anything can happen. Any of these teams can move up and take up the number 1 spot. We just have to get more footage under our hands so we can check these teams out and see how they play. Teams like Oxygen Esports, Fnatic, and Navi haven't been having the best tournaments, and I don't think Navi even qualified for Anaheim. But teams have been having rough times, and some teams like Optic and Cloud9, Sentinels even, have been really been performing at the top level. Sentinels got eliminated by Optic earlier in this tournament. Well, they actually got eliminated by United 3-1, but they also lost to Optic back here. And yeah, we had a lot of interesting matches this weekend. I look forward to the future. I'm going to keep you guys updated on all the new matchups. I want to stay more in track on top of the top matchups so that you guys can see results, just get some updates, brief updates of the Halo weekends that we have coming up here. a lot of interesting matchups here for this weekend in Halo Esports. Lots of gameplay footage that we have to see, that I have to see personally to just go over. And we see here blue across the scoreboard, you know, Cloud9 taking it all once again, just getting rid of anything and anybody in their path. I'm sure they got compensated really well for this. It's now the second major tournament that they win, and it doesn't look to be slowing for them. They just look to be more dominant as the days go by. You know, that's why all the attention is on them. You know, they might be forming a dynasty. Who knows, right? As you can see here, Optic Gaming, they beat, you know, E United in the winners bracket as well. You know, winners bracket and elimination bracket here, as you can see, teams like Space Station Gaming, you know, are even taking part in this tournament, even though we don't see them much because they only get a few showings. You know, they're still there, and they still have, you know, somewhat of a presence, you know, at the end of the day. So, you know, we've got to watch out for all these other teams as well. And as you can see here, Cloud9 getting compensated with $54,000, 15,000 HCS points. Optic coming in second, 33 grand. United and Sentinels, so on and so forth. And as you can see here, United is actually on top, ended up, you know, placing third overall over Sentinels, and it was almost double the price, you know, reward for them. So, you know, it goes to show that United is a pretty strong team, and as of now is, you know, placing a little bit better than Sentinels, and you know, taking that third spot of best overall. Stay tuned for more esports content. I'm going to talk about some of the future tournaments that are coming up, some of the future events that are coming up. I do believe there is a NA Open series on the 20th, which is Sunday, and that is about several days away from now. So we're going to be, you know, checking some gameplay out, see how everybody does, you know, after the break, after, you know, Anaheim, and we're going to see if any of the tides shift going into the next major. Stay tuned, like, comment, subscribe if you like the content, and I'll see you guys later.